like, so you know that path that you take a million times as an archer, leading from the Aetherite Plaza down into the forest, past
Yep.
where the airships are.
Yep.
So if the airship like depot's on your right, and you're like walking towards the forest where all those lamp lights are, and you just kind of see like a big lake and the forest, that's where you fish for rain collars. So I just go over there and I'm fishing, and I see two characters walking up, not running, not like you're playing the game running, choosing to walk.
Sure.
And then I start seeing them in the chat because they're using say, not yell, but say.
Say.
So since I'm right there, I just get to see all this, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, are these two role playing or something? I'm like, surely they must be role playing because they didn't have the little icon that says RP on it.
Sure, RP.
But it's clear that they were role playing, and they start talking about like, oh my God, is this the spot? And he's like, this is the spot. And she's like, oh, great, because I'm so hungry. I've been looking forward to this all day. And it's clear that these two are going on a date. And I'm like, yay! Yes! This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm so happy. So I'm just sitting here fishing, watching these two strangers who I don't know if they know it's in the chat. Because, like, my guess would be that if I was doing this, I would have been, like, doing some version of talking to each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe to them, they're such hardcore RP. It's like, we're just having a conversation. If someone walked by, they'd hear us. So since I'm just sitting there fishing, I'm just this dragon girl, just sitting there fishing, and I'm just watching it play out. And, like, they're doing the emotes with the stuff they say, like, I'm so hungry. And then the girl goes like, oh. And then the guy goes like, well, get ready because I've got something for you. And he goes like, like hands on sides, like, hello. And then, so then they both sit down, and then they're like doing like asterisk munch asterisk munch. Oh wow, this is so good. Yeah, thanks, I made it. And clearly they just like gave each other items, and like, because I saw the little like you know when you use an item and the thing pops up, the little like flare of, oh, someone just used an item.
Yeah.
I could see that they were both physically using items, meaning they were eating the items on the picnic they were on. And I'm just watching them have a conversation, and they're both just like, wow, every moment I spend with you is like the best, and when I'm not around you, I just wish I was. And not in a melodramatic way, in a super earnest, adorable way. These two are just kind of telling each other like how much they enjoy each other's company. And then the guy character who was I am admittedly very bad at knowing the names of the races in the game. The girl was a cat girl.
Sure.
And the guy was the big thing that Urianger is.
Sure, yeah. I was going to say, like, oh, don't worry, I'll help you out, but I don't know what either of those are either. So I'm also very bad.
It's something I've never learned. I know what auras are because I'm an aura, but I'm bad at that. I know there's Humes. I know there's auras. I think the big orc things would have a name I'd recognize if I heard it. Maybe it starts with a G. I don't know.
There's Hrothgars. Yeah.
But it was like the Urianger style, like tall, lanky elf thing. And then a cat girl.
Elzen? Does
that
sound right?
That
sounds right.
So that's what they were. And so
the foremost experts on culture.
Yeah, well, we're the best. I told you. Foremost experts on everything. Let us start with a anecdotal story. So I'm watching, and he goes like, oh, I forgot something. I'll be right back. And he gets up and like walks. So like, you know how there's that outside like kind of deck around the airship depot? He walks around that corner, and I can see that he's just standing there, but she can't. So she gets up and like starts kind of like talking like, ooh, I should stretch. What a great meal that was. And like then her character starts doing the emotes of stretching and stuff. And then he comes back and he goes, so he's like, I want you to know that I cherish every moment we have with each other, and this picnic just reminded me of all the things I love about you. And she's like, oh, you don't have to say this stuff. He's like, no, I do actually have to say this stuff. Because, and then he gets down on one knee, and I'm like, whoa, yes, this is the greatest day of my life. I'm watching this happen.
Oh, that's so good.
And so they do that. So I decided, you know what? I'm a part of this. So I put my fishing pole away, and I turn, and I start doing the jumping clap. And then they turn to me, and they go, oh no, how embarrassing. Okay, I didn't know you could hear us. And I go, I'm happy for you two. You guys look beautiful. And they go, thank you. And then they like do a little pose together thing. And then they like finished their meal and they talked the whole time about how happy they were. And she's like, I didn't think you'd ever ask. And he's like, I wasn't sure if you'd say yes. And then here's the best part. So they walk up to me again. So after I clapped for them, I went back to fishing. They walk up to me and they go, hey, can you take a picture of us? And I go, so in my head, I'm like, shit, I don't know how to do that. But maybe they're just going to pose and they want to pretend like I'm the one taking the picture since I clapped for them. Maybe I'm now a part of this. So I go, sure, I'll definitely do that. So I'm like feverishly looking through emotes like, shit, what should my emote be that I use when I take this picture? So I go, all right, say cheese. And then I have one of my emotes is like my character kind of like, I can't tell what she's doing, but she's kind of like holding her hand out. Maybe like she's offering something, but giving a peace sign. So that's what I did, and then they both did like a thing at the same time, and then they're like, "Thank you so much for taking that picture," and I'm like, "Of course, congratulations!" And they're like, "Wow, thank you, it means a lot." And then I just went back to fishing, and Derek, I got to tell you, after that was over, I was like, I've never been more bored in my life just sitting here fishing. There's no weddings going on, there's no proposals, no one's having a public picnic around me, and it's never been the same. So now when I go and I fish, it's just me chasing that high. Yeah, that moment.
I have a question then. Do you think that was genuine, or do you think they go from server to server and are like, that's our mark? And like they're trying to get like money out of you or something, and you'll just be like, here, have some gill. Like, congratulations on your wedding, you know?
Don't you dare be cynical, because I have never even once considered that was an option, and I refuse to let your question poisoned me into thinking that I didn't just get to be a part of a special moment. Because that's what I am convinced that was a real moment, and that if I was there or I was not there, that would have happened the same way.